At 90, Loretta Lynn sat quietly on her Tennessee porch, surrounded by the hills that had always felt like home. The world knew her as the coal miner's daughter, a living legend who turned struggle into song. But behind her long career, behind the applause and bright lights, lived a woman with dreams she never fully told the world. When she finally decided to speak, her voice was gentle but sure. "These are the people I dreamed about," she said softly. "The ones who made me sing, who made me feel, who made me believe." What followed were memories full of love, loss, and longing. 7 artists who shaped her soul in ways only she could describe. The first name she spoke was Patsy Cline. Loretta's eyes brightened at the mention. "Patsy wasn't just my friend," she said. "She was my sister." When they met in the early 1960s, Loretta was still finding her place in Nashville. Patsy was already a star. But instead of treating her like competition, Patsy took her under her wing. Their friendship was rare, built on trust and laughter. Loretta often said Patsy taught her more about life than music. "She taught me how to be strong when men told me to stay quiet," Loretta remembered. "She taught me to walk into a room like I belonged there." But the dream part came after Patsy's tragic death. Loretta confessed that for years, she dreamed of Patsy at night, standing backstage, smiling, singing, as if nothing had changed. "She'd tell me not to cry," Loretta said. "She'd say, 'Honey, I ain't gone. I'm just singing up here now.'" Those dreams stayed with her all her life. The second artist was Conway Twitty, the man she sang with so many times that fans began to wonder if their chemistry went beyond music. Loretta smiled when his name came up. "Conway was special," she said, her voice trembling a little. "We never said certain things out loud, but we didn't need to." They recorded hit after hit together: Louisiana Woman, Mississippi Man, After the Fire Is Gone, Feelin's. Their duets were filled with passion that felt too real to be just acting. Loretta always called Conway her singing partner, but in private moments, she admitted he was also the man she dreamed about most. "He had that voice," she said softly, "low and gentle, like a secret." She never claimed they were lovers, but she confessed that in her dreams, they sometimes danced, laughed, and sang under the stage lights that never faded. When Conway passed away, Loretta said it felt like she'd lost part of herself. "We were meant to sing together forever," she whispered. The third artist she dreamed about was Dolly Parton, not in a romantic way, but in admiration. The two country queens shared more similarities than the public realized. Both came from humble beginnings, both fought their way through a man's world, and both carried the burden of being strong women in country music. "There is always this story that we didn't get along," Loretta said with a laugh. But that wasn't true. Dolly and me just didn't see each other much. We were both too busy working. Still, she admitted that she dreamed about singing one last duet with Dolly, something pure and simple, like the songs they both grew up with. In those dreams, Loretta said she and Dolly would stand side by side in a small mountain church, harmonizing to an old hymn. "That's how I see us," she said softly. "Not in rhinestones, not on a big stage, just two girls singing about home." When she spoke about Elvis Presley, her tone changed, a mix of admiration and something almost like longing. "Elvis was the one I never met the way I wanted to," she said. They had crossed paths a few times, shared mutual respect, but fate kept them from ever recording together. "I always dreamed we'd do a song," she admitted. "He had that spark, that thing no one else had. I used to think about what our voices would sound like together." In her dreams, she said Elvis would walk into the studio in his white jumpsuit, flash that grin, and say, "Loretta, let's make history." It was a dream that never came true, but one she never stopped imagining. "Maybe we'll get to do it up there," she laughed. "He'll bring his guitar, and I'll bring my voice." There was something innocent and sweet in the way she said it, not romance, but deep admiration. The fifth artist was Johnny Cash, a man whose music touched her heart in ways she couldn't explain. "Johnny had a soul," she said. You could hear the pain, the fight, the faith in his voice. They weren't close friends, but she always felt a connection. Both came from poor beginnings, both carried scars, both believed in redemption. She revealed that after Johnny's death, she dreamed of him too, sitting with his guitar, singing "I Walk the Line," but looking right at her. "He didn't say anything in the dream," she said. "He just smiled. I think he was telling me he was all right." The sixth name was Tammy Wynette, the woman the world often compared her to. Their careers ran side by side, both queens of country, both singing about love and heartbreak. We didn't always get along, Loretta admitted. We were different, but we understood each other's pain. When Tammy passed away, Loretta was heartbroken. I dreamed we were on stage again, singing Stand By Your Man and You Ain't Woman Enough together, she said. But in the dream, we weren't rivals. We were sisters. It was her way of finding peace after years of quiet competition. The final artist was Hank Williams Sr., the man whose music first lit a fire in her heart. I was just a little girl when I heard him, she said. I didn't know much about the world, but I knew I wanted to sing like that. His songs about heartbreak and hard times made her feel seen. She said that throughout her life, she dreamed of standing beside Hank on stage. He was gone before I ever got the chance to meet him, she said. But I used to dream I'd walk out, and he'd be there in his hat, nodding at me, saying, "Your turn, Loretta." When she was asked why she chose to reveal these dreams so late in life, she smiled sadly. Because when you're young, you're too busy living, she said. It's only when you get older that you start remembering what really mattered. Each of these artists, she explained, wasn't just someone she admired. They were part of her story. They were the voices in my head when I was scared, she said. They were the reasons I kept singing when nobody was listening. She admitted that sometimes she felt them near her, especially when she sang alone late at night. I don't think dreams ever die, she said softly. They just change into memories. At 90, Loretta didn't talk about fame, awards, or records. What mattered most were the people who made her feel alive through music. Every song I wrote, she said, had a little piece of one of them in it. When asked which of the 7 she missed the most, she closed her eyes for a long moment. Patsy, she whispered, because she was the one who believed in me before anyone else did. But she quickly smiled and added, they're all still with me, you know. Every time I sing, they're standing right there. As she spoke, her voice carried the strength of someone who had loved deeply, lost deeply, and still found peace. Dreams don't always come true the way we want, she said. But sometimes they come true in ways we don't expect. Her memories of those 7 artists were not just stories. They were pieces of her heart. Each dream, whether real or imagined, reminded her that life's beauty often lies in the people who inspire us, even from afar. Loretta believed that music is a form of dreaming. When you sing, she said, you're telling the world what your heart saw when your eyes were closed. For her, those 7 artists were the stars in her night sky, always there guiding her even when the world went dark. At 90, she finally felt ready to let go of the secrets she had carried for decades. She spoke of each artist not with sadness, but with gratitude. They gave me songs, she said. They gave me courage. They gave me love, even when they were gone. Loretta Lynn's eyes sparkled when she finished. People ask me what I dream about now, she said. I dream of seeing them again, singing together, all of us. No fame, no lights. Just music. Just love. And with that, she smiled, the same smile that once lit up country music's darkest stages. She had finally told her truth, and in doing so, she gave her fans a final gift. The story of 7 artists who helped shape one of the greatest voices America ever heard. At 90, Loretta Lynn often said that time doesn't erase the music in your heart.